Managing ADHD employees. Hi, I'm Brett, the AuDHD Boss. On this channel, we focus on ADHD and autism in the corporate workplace. I have over 10 years leadership experience and leadership training. I'm also somebody with autism and ADHD. If you have a topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to create a video around that topic. On today's topic, we're actually covering something that I've been seeing a lot of search questions and a lot of search results around, which is managing ADHD employees. ADHD employees are some of the best, the brightest, the most creative, the best at problem solving, the ones that ask the most questions to figure out where the problems are and to figure out how to best fix those problems, and again, problem solving. These are incredible, brilliant brains, if I do say so myself, and it's nice to have that atmosphere where they feel safe and secure to excel in the workplace. They're some of your most creative, brilliant, inspiring employees, and we really want to always be able to try to create the creative space for all employees to thrive, but especially for our ADHD and autistic employees. If we create the right environment for them, they can shine so bright and do such incredible and amazing things. In this video, what I'm going to do is look at a very high level view at how to manage folks with ADHD. So while this video may not cover everything, let me know in the comments for a specific topic and I'll make a video around that for you. Starting off, privacy and disclosure. Now, you may be a manager who suspects somebody on your team has ADHD, and you may be able to come up with resources and accommodations that can best help support them in the workplace. But what you can't do is diagnose them for them or suggest or ask if they have ADHD, because that could be a violation of federal law. However, anytime we create accommodations for people, it just simply makes the workplace better. Whether you suspect an employee has ADHD or they have disclosed to you that they do, know that no one owes you an explanation about their ADHD, and it may not be something that a lot of people want to talk about. Some people love talking about it. Other people with ADHD do not like talking about it. I'm someone who happens to enjoy talking about ADHD, which is why I created this channel. But there's a lot of people out there who absolutely do not want to talk about their ADHD. You have to respect the privacy of the individual and ensure that if they do or don't want to talk about it, you can accommodate whichever way they go. No two people with ADHD are the same. It's very important that any sort of general things that you look at around ADHD may work for some people, but the absolute best place to start, and this is my first most important tip about managing someone with ADHD, bring them into the conversation. Enter that conversation with genuine curiosity and empathy. The best way to start this is to recognize that mandating or telling someone how to do something if they have ADHD isn't going to work for them. We have to know the why behind everything. We want to know the big picture. We want to know the little details. We want to know the why to better understand and to better wrap our minds around what it is that is being asked of us. If you can sit us down and invite us into a dialogue to help us understand intention and why and all those different things, that right there is going to be a huge part of helping us move forward in whatever it is that we need to do at work. The other thing too is recognizing that ADHD brains are vastly different from neurotypical brains. A lot of work and a lot of society is built around the ideas of neurotypical brains. So neurodivergent brains are going to need different things, and we're just simply not going to function in those same societal ways. So coming to us with genuine curiosity and asking and engaging us in a conversation. What will work best for you? How can we best figure this out together? How can I be a thought partner with you on how to do this task or how to do this thing here at work? And then listen to them. Listen to the things that they say. Most people with ADHD, again, whether they're diagnosed or not, have figured out strategies that will help them, have figured out strategies that will help them do the things they need to do or get through the day. So if you stop and listen and ask them, engage in conversation, ask a lot of good questions, let them feel safe, let them feel that this is a good space to share things that they need, share what they're looking for, and then create a work environment that allows them to get the things that they need out of that. Quick sidebar here, if you you are new to learning about ADHD, I strongly encourage you to look into what it means to have executive function. At the core of what makes ADHD brains so unique is our executive function. For many of us, executive function is delayed much later. It takes longer for the ADHD brain to develop their executive function. I would also strongly recommend the resource from author and YouTuber Jessica McCabe. She is the creator of How to ADHD, the YouTube channel, but also the book How to ADHD. This book is a vast amount of resources for all things ADHD, explaining and walking through different tips and strategies. She also refers to executive function as the CEO of the brain. Executive function is really where we struggle with most of the things that are most associated with ADHD, things like deadlines, time blindness, being on time, managing time, where we might have trouble prioritizing things, breaking down tasks, task initiation, having trouble shifting priorities. Maybe we're stuck in a hyperfocus and we have to come out of that hyperfocus to shift to priorities. That can be a difficult thing to transition out of. Shifting with transitions can be difficult for us. Little things might tend to really slow us down. We also might sometimes say the wrong thing at the wrong time in the wrong meeting. And we are going to be distracted if the thing or the meeting or the thing that we're doing is not engaging us in a way that's allowing our dopamine to hit in a certain way. If we're genuinely bored in a meeting or a conversation or a task, it's going to be that much harder for us to do the thing or to be engaged in a meeting or a conversation. We may need a fidget, or we may need some kind of other distraction to let our mind do something so that we can do both things at once. For many people, they might need music or something on in the background while they concentrate on something. For others, they may want absolute perfect silence while they concentrate on something. Again, all ADHD brains are different. All people are different. So you're going to need to figure out what works best for your ADHD employee. And the only way to do that is engage them in a conversation of curiosity, where you're genuinely listening to them and helping them verbalize what it is that they need. There are a ton of resources online, and I will link to some in the section below that explain executive function more and help with more resources for understanding how executive function may show up in the workplace. Next thing on my list of how to manage ADHD employees is absolutely clear and concise communication. This is a really important one. We may want to have a lengthy conversation about understanding a task or understanding a thing that we may want. We may not want to have any conversation. We may want the whole thing in writing, or we may want both. It could be really helpful to have a conversation with your ADHD employee, explaining and walking through the thing, give them a space to ask a lot of questions, let them have the full context. Many times we need to see the big picture of the whole thing so we can understand what the whole thing is and where our part shows up in that big picture. But alongside knowing the big picture, we also need to look at all the tiny little details. Our minds can see everything and the tiny things all at once, and that helps us process. Helping us with processing and following up in written communication also is a huge help with us. Sometimes when we're looking at those big pictures and those little tasks, sometimes we need some support in breaking down all of the possible little tasks. And alongside breaking down all those tasks, where we might need to start or where we might need to prioritize. Sometimes that can also lead to decision paralysis, where we just don't know where to start and we need help figuring out how to start. But we also have to be really careful, because sometimes when we're looking at the big picture, when we're looking at all the many steps, when we're looking at all the things, that can also lead to overwhelm. So we might need support in helping us figure out where to start, where to stop, where to prioritize, so that we don't get into overwhelm. And checking in on us in a respectful way helps us also figure out how not to find our way into overwhelm. It's helpful there to also balance out managing expectations. That also can really help us not get to overwhelm as well. Helping us understand the expectations are as clear as possible, that's also very helpful. Also leading with questions. How can I help you? How can I support you? What can I be doing as your manager that can be useful right now? How can I help you get started on that? Do you need any kind of support? Can I be a thought partner for you in this exercise? Can I be a thought partner for you in any part of this? Many ADHD people may say at first, nope, I'm good, let me go figure this out. Other people may say, yeah, I would love that. Again, no two ADHD brains are the same. So asking what somebody needs and letting them tell you what their needs are is always going to be the best place to start, instead of making assumptions or building a story about that person or what they are or are not doing or what they need or do not need. Never really assume. The ADHD mind is vast and deep. We are very big thinkers. We are thinking about a lot of things all at once. So don't assume one way or the other. It's always best to just stop and engage us in a conversation, or ask over writing or text. A lot of people may not want to have a dialogue. A lot of people may want to do this in writing or in text. This also gets to two other separate things. I'm trying to decide what order to put these in, but I think I'm going to prioritize this one. Processing time is my next tip. We really want to give our neurodivergent employees time to process and think and create. Yes, you want structured things like making clear deadlines and making sure that there's a clear understanding of what the work is and managing expectations, but also giving time to think. Even if it's just a little bit of time, sometimes for many ADHD brains, many neurodivergent brains, we also have something called delayed processing time, where we might be taking in all the information at first. We may have a first round of thoughts. We may be even a little overwhelmed at first with some of the thinking that we have. But if we can go off and sit and process and go through our process, whatever it is, again, everybody's process is going to be different. But if we can have time to go off and think a little bit, that delayed processing time is going to help ensure that we come back with better ideas, better thinking, more solutions, or better feedback, or whatever it is that we're looking for on this project or this task. That brings me back around to something called rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Again, if you're unfamiliar with that, I strongly encourage checking out How to ADHD or the many resources online around rejection sensitivity dysphoria or executive function. But rejection sensitivity dysphoria is where we might hear or find rejection, even perceived rejection, in conversations or in wording or all the different things. So any kind of context we can provide as managers when talking to our ADHD employees, that helps reduce that anxiety. It helps reduce the risk of rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Choosing our words very carefully, making sure there's no passive aggressive language in there or no assumptions. It's so important to choose words carefully because that rejection sensitivity can really set us back. And it can really be quite difficult to get our focus back at that point when we're feeling that way. Read the signals of somebody that you're talking to, which can be difficult for a lot of neurodivergent folks. But if you can pick up on the signs that, an employee is sending you signals that they are done with this conversation or they need to be done with this conversation in this moment, let them be done. There's no reason to continue it. There's no reason to push somebody past their emotional threshold for conversations at work. So if you're able to recognize that someone is maybe feeling a little too frustrated or a little too annoyed, or maybe you're just not connecting in the right way in your conversation, just let that conversation be done for now. Try to find a way to end that conversation that doesn't set off rejection sensitivity, but certainly recognize when a conversation needs to end with an ADHD employee. Okay, these are really high-level tips of how to manage an ADHD employee. Again, I cannot stress enough, bring them into the conversation. Put them at the center of this conversation. Never make assumptions. Don't assume that they are one way or the other. Don't assume no two ADHD brains are the same. The best way to figure out how to manage an ADHD employee, bring them into the conversation and ask them what their needs are. Ask them what will work best for them. Ask them how you as their manager can support them. Work around focusing on compliance. When you can put the person at the center, everybody's going to be better. And if you can make these accommodations, and I use accommodations sort of in air quotes, formal accommodations are obviously their own separate process, but anytime we can make any sort of light accommodations for any employee, it just makes the workplace a better place in general, and it'll help all employees. Again, my name is Brett. I'm the AuDHD Boss. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, or if there's a specific theme within this that you would like me to do a video on. Let me know in the comments, or reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok. Let me know, and I would be happy to make more videos on this topic. And again, this whole channel is dedicated to autism and ADHD in the corporate workplace. So subscribe if you are interested in more videos on this topic. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. It certainly helps my channel grow, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video.